Hello everyone, welcome to Scented ASMR. Today I'd like to talk about perfumes that contain my favorite note, which is the note of vanilla. I'd like to start with one of my all-time favorite vanilla perfumes. This one is called Orchidee Vanille, and it's by Cleef and Arpels. It's part of their collection extraordinaire. Orchidee Vanille was released in 2009, and it was by the perfumer Rhonda Hammam. It contains notes of vanilla, dark chocolate, vanilla orchid, tonka bean, bitter almond, mandarin orange, violet, white musk, lychee, cedar, and rose. This is a vanilla scent that has a bit of a chocolate orange smell to it. It's mainly vanilla, but the chocolate is kind of a dusting of chocolate over the vanilla with a soft orange. It's a unisex scent that I think leans a bit feminine because it's so soft and sweet. And it wears very close to the skin. Although it does have decent longevity, I would say about maybe 6 hours on my skin. It has a powderiness to it, which I believe comes from the almond and makes it smell very warm and cozy. For me, it's a very comforting and nostalgic scent. It was really a love at first sniff for me. And it's probably something that I would wear as a signature scent if I did have a signature scent. So yeah, just a nice, warm, cozy, comforting vanilla. So the next one I'd like to talk about is called Ani, and it's by Nishane Ani. Nishane. Nishane Ani is a spicy, slightly green vanilla. It was released in 2019 and the perfumer was Cecil Zaracon. It contains top notes of ginger, bergamot, pink pepper, and green notes. The mid notes are cardamom, black currant, Turkish rose, and the base notes are vanilla, benzoin, sandalwood, cedar, patchouli, ambergris, and musk. This is a very strong vanilla. It's spicy, it's citrusy, and it's woody. I love it. It's got a dry, kind of a dry feel to it. I think from the cardamom and the sandalwood. It's not very sweet. It's more spicy. It's also very unisex. I think, yeah, I would say perfectly unisex. I wouldn't say this is masculine or feminine. And it's got really good performance. It lasts a long time. It's strong. It has strong projection. So people will smell you. This is not one that was a love at first sniff for me. In fact, I don't think I really liked it much when I first smelled it. But after I wore it a few times, it really just was intoxicating and I fell in love with it. And it's one of my favorites now. So that's Ani by Nishane. The next one I'd like to talk about is called Guimauve, which means marshmallow in French. And it's by the brand Reminiscence, and it's part of their Nuit Gourmand collection. How pretty is this bottle? I love this bottle. I love the pink color. I love the pretty bow. It's just a pretty, pretty bottle. The cap is pretty. So Guimauve is considered an amber vanilla. It was released in 2008, but they repackaged it in 2013. And the top notes are almond, lavender, mint, rosemary, tangerine, orange, green notes, C notes, bergamot, and the mid notes are neroli, petitgrain, jasmine, black pepper, and the base notes are vanilla, tonka bean, musk, sandalwood, ambergris, patchouli, and cedar. Those are a lot of notes. So this is it's a marshmallowy vanilla, but it's also very aromatic because it's definitely, you can smell the mint in it and a little bit of the lavender. You also pick up on the neroli, the petitgrain, the not really, I don't get any of the C notes or the patchouli. I do get the almond because a little bit of powderiness, but this is mostly it's kind of creamy, even though it's aromatic and marshmallowy. It's a very, very pretty feminine fragrance. It smells nostalgic to me. It was love at first sniff. I loved it the moment I smelled it. Usually when something's nostalgic to me, then I usually do love it right away. It's also an affordable fragrance. You can usually find it for under $50 on discounter websites. So that's Guimauve by Reminiscence. So the next fragrance I have is called Black Tie, and it's from the house of Celine. This bottle is not the original bottle. It's a decant from the original bottle. So Black Tie was released in 2019. The notes are vanilla, orris, cedar, musk, and moss. This is a very elegant, sophisticated vanilla. It's powdery and a little bit earthy. The orris makes it feel like buttery soft and smooth, along with making it powdery. The moss gives it its earthiness. It's not very sweet. It has maybe a hint of sweetness to it, but it's very soft and sits close to the skin, although it does last a decent amount of time. This to me is a masterpiece fragrance. It's smooth and well blended and straight down the line unisex. It doesn't lean feminine or masculine. I think it would make a beautiful signature scent for anyone that would like to have a soft vanilla signature. So that's Black Tie by Celine. next one I have is by Lancome, and it's from the Nuit Tresor line, and this is the Folie version. So La Nuit Tresor à la Folie was released in 2018, and the perfumers were Amandine Clerc-Marie, Christophe Reynaud, and Honorine Blanc. The notes are bourbon vanilla, tonka bean, red currant, benzoin, damask rose, nutmeg, ambroxan, pear, pink pepper, patchouli, woody notes, violet, peony, jasmine, and bergamot. This is a very delicate and feminine vanilla with tonka bean and soft spices. The spices in it, which come from nutmeg, give it a sort of a dry texture. The tonka bean adds powderiness, and the vanilla is sweet. It's warm, and the soft spice really makes me think of Christmas. I find it to be very well blended, and I really don't pick up the fruits of the florals. Maybe a bit of the rose and the red currant, but overall it's the vanilla and the spices that you smell. It is gourmand leaning, but it doesn't really smell like food. It's more of just a warm, soft, cozy vanilla. Pretty bottle. This fragrance was actually the one that started my fragrance addiction. I've always loved perfume, but I've never really been a collector. But once I smelled this, I thought, wow, I didn't know fragrances could smell that good. So I started trying to get my nose on everything. And just, there's so many good fragrances to discover out there. this is a big love for me. Unfortunately, I believe it's been discontinued, but you can still find it. It's not off the market yet. So if you do want to try it, you might want to grab it sooner than later. So that's La Nuit Tresor à la Folie by Lancome. Next, I have Escapade Gourmand, and it's by the house of Maison Mataha. Escapade Gourmand was released in 2022, and the perfumer is Vincent Ricord. This is a very gourmand vanilla. To me, it smells like creme brulee. The notes in the top are black sugar, mid are vanilla and tonka bean, and the base notes are benzoin and musk. The black sugar in it is what gives it kind of a crystallized, toasted sugar that makes it smell like a caramely creme brulee. The musk in the fragrance gives it some fluffiness, keeps it from feeling too heavy or dense. I think this is a very good vanilla if you want a vanilla to layer with, because it's not very complex. It's pretty linear. But at the same time, even though it's not complex, it is, it doesn't smell cheap or juvenile. It's long lasting, but it wears fairly close to the skin. It's unisex, I would say leaning slightly feminine, but I think anybody that enjoys a gourmand vanilla would like this fragrance. So that's Escapade Gourmand by Maison Mataha. next fragrance I have is called Vanilla Love, and it's by Jimmy Choo. It's from his Seduction collection. So Vanilla Love was released in 2020, and the perfumer is Mikel Almerac. Top notes are apple, black pepper, and myrrh. Mid notes are vanilla, patchouli, and tonka bean. The base notes are amber, saffron, and toffee. Vanilla Love is a sweet, warm, cozy vanilla with a little bit of spice and a little bit of booze. The myrrh gives it a little bit of resin, and although there are no woody notes in the fragrance, I definitely pick up on some woods, because while the vanilla is it's a sweet bakery vanilla extract type of vanilla, the woods really keep it from becoming too sweet and give it some backbone. The patchouli I don't pick up at all, but it could just be blended in there so well that I don't smell it. But I love this one. Like I said, it's sweet. It's a sweet gourmand vanilla, but it's backed up by some woods and some spices. It's very enjoyable to wear. The longevity and the sillage, I would say, are moderate. And it's a unisex fragrance, leaning slightly feminine. So that's Vanilla Love by Jimmy Choo. So those were some of my favorite vanilla fragrances that I have in my collection. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you again in my next video. Thank you for joining me.